Well, if all goes well, the first major hotel property here in New Providence should be back in business by the end of the year. The Director of Labor telling our news team today that plans are in making toward this endeavor. He spoke with our Carla Palmer.
Even in the face of increased COVID-19 infections, Director of Labor John Pinder remains optimistic that the Bahamas will return to its buoyant economy before the COVID-19 pandemic. Things may seem bleak now, he says, but once the two major hotel properties reopen along with others, work will bring about positive developments in the labor force.
So there are plans for the two major hotels to start to put some level of bookings in place to determine how soon they can open. My information is that Atlantis is trying to open for December. Bahama is still a work in progress. They're looking at probably first thing in the new year.
Atlantis and Bahama are the two single largest private employers in the country, with reportedly 12,000 employees between the two properties, with Atlantis having more by some 2,000. While the impact no doubt is being felt by those employees laid off and furloughed, it is also visible to the naked eye.
So as long as those hotels are closed and there's no tourists there, then that impacts the Hebraiders, that impacts the taxi drivers, that impacts the straw vendors, that impacts the jet ski operators and the tour drivers. And so there's still a number of persons that are just waiting for those hotels to open, the airport to resume daily flights, and for the cruise lines to start to come in port. We're hopeful that the cruise line will be back in port by January.
The labor director says while we wait the return of the tourism sector that has caused unemployment to soar from 10% prior to the COVID-19 pandemic to a reported 45%, it's imperative that all health and safety measure protocols be implemented prior to persons returning to the workplace.
I think for the most part, a lot of the persons who are booking are looking to see what kind of protocols we have for their safety. Because, you know, the tourism minister indicated and the director of tourism, they're indicating that most persons want to come in for the beaches more than anything else. So we just need to ensure that these new measures that are being put in place as it relates to the testings of persons coming in, and I think the Minister of Tourism alluded to the fact that they'll be tested at least 2 or 3 times within a 5 or 7 day period. I think that's a step in the right direction. I think it is important for even the staffers to be tested regularly. I think Paris Island is going to be considered a safe zone. We have to ensure that everybody coming over the bridge is tested in some way or the other.
Until the country fully reopens, Mr. Pinder is encouraging hotel employees and others in the tourism sector to seek avenues to improve their skills and services. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Director Pinder also told us today that since the pandemic started in March and through to the end of September, some 9,544 persons have accessed the Skills Bank at the Department of Labor. While unemployed persons offload their resumes seeking work, Pinder also noted that employers can turn to the registry to fill vacancies as well.
I can't say for certain that all of them are unemployed, because we've been encouraging persons even who are employed to pull up, go into our Skills Bank and upload their resumes in case a vacancy exists and they are qualified for it. We can, invite them to go and get an interview. But I believe it's safe to say at least 90% of that number are persons who find themselves in the extended layoff position or find themselves out of work at this time.
Meantime, the labor director is encouraging those unemployed at this time to think out of the box and to be creative as well as innovative.
There are some digital jobs that they can look at that probably will assist because of the curbside services and because of the social distancing. Persons want to be able to go online, order supplies, and have that delivered to them. I think that's something that is kind of lucrative right now, and I believe that's going to be around for a while. And so persons ought to see how they can best have some computer software created so that they can tap into persons' business and assist with filling orders and delivering orders. I continuously tell people about the fishing industry simply because I know there's more demand for fish, fresh fish, in the world than it is in supply. And the Bahamas has the opportunity to tap into that market. And, I don't think we can have sufficient fishermen to really pull all the fish out of the water.